I was invited, and then the last story I will tell you that has given the birth to this idea more concretely. That was 10th of May 1990. I was invited to speak in an interview that was live interview on ARD channel number 1 in Germany. And I told all the stories of children whom I free and my struggle to educate them and rehabilitate them and my fight with the government to change laws and to ensure their rehabilitation and education, all kind of things. And my appeal to German consumers and European consumers. Suddenly, and that was live interview, so anybody can call and I had to answer. So an old lady called up and said, my son, that was her word, my son, I saved money to buy the most beautiful carpet and the last carpet of my life that I bought only few weeks ago. And today, listening to you, you are not talking about an academic research, you are talking out of your heart. I could feel it, she said. I could see your face, she said, on television. And I know that you are truthful. I am going to throw this carpet right away, outside my house. But tell me whether I will be able to buy another rug which could be guaranteed that it is not made by children, by child labor. I was moved, but I have some confidence in myself, and I said, yes, my dear mother, I promise you that you will have such a carpet in your lifetime. I made this promise publicly on the national television channel online. But my friends in Bradford, the world, were so angry, they scolded me, they threatened me that, what are you doing? Did we have a longer conversation about it, or how are you going to make an announcement that we are going to launch a monitoring system and finally a labeling system? I said, I made it. It could be mistaken, but let us find out and I will work hard for that. So while I was coming back, I heard about the Swiss control system, SGS, in Switzerland. So I went back to Zurich and Geneva to meet those people and learn from them that how we can introduce such a system. They said, no, we have no idea. We can do the quality control, but we cannot be involved in these kind of things. Nobody has done it before, so how could it be done, these kind of monitorings? And then certification, licensing, labeling, all kind of things. So I had to come back empty hands. But we were able to build tremendous pressure on the Carpet Export Promotion Council and the All India Carpet Manufacturers Association. Through the consumers campaign as well as through my rescue operations and raids and putting pressure, going to the court, knocking the door of the Supreme Court in connection with the pending case, and so many things. So it was not just one thing, consumers campaign, there were multiple strategies, media also, and that has resulted in building pressure on these two major institutions, and they invited me for dialogue. So we went for a dialogue with them in the Kalin Bhavan, Bhadohi. And that was the day when I thought that some positive outcome would be there. But one of my friends indicated me when I was sitting on the dais that there was a guy sitting in front of me, just in front of me with his gun. And he was a hardcore criminal who was released on bail just to kill me. And this friend of mine was a lawyer. And I could not understand who is doing what or what is that. Then I went on the dais again and started talking. I said that the people are making hue and cries, people are shouting, Kailash Satyarthi is Pakistani agent, Kailash Satyarthi go back, like the Simon Commission go back in the past. So go back, go back. But I was smiling. I said that I just learned that there is a guy just in front of me sitting with his gun, small gun. Because my friend, the lawyer friend, his name, he's no more unfortunately, Bipin Bihari Verma. So Bipin Bihari Verma sent a small slip, said that I know this guy, he's a hardcore criminal. So Kailash, just leave this place. So I said that this is the slip. So I read out that slip. I said that my friend has sent this slip. So you can kill me. I don't know who is this guy, but one of you should be there. Everybody was shocked. Because some people were very genuine, definitely. They were genuine people, but a few of them who wanted to kill me, they had hired a sharpshooter. So I said that, okay, you can kill me, but there are three propositions. One is that if you kill me now, then tomorrow onwards, there would be huge noise in the entire Europe and United States. Because by that time, I was able to build a very good relationship with Senator Harkin and some more people. Today, we must pay our greatest respect to my brother and friend, Senator Tom Harkin. We cannot celebrate 25th years without the people like him. We cannot celebrate this without the people like Faris Harvey, who is not here, but I learned that he is well and he is still in the board. So I said that from tomorrow onwards, there would be total boycott in America at least, and a few more European countries. If you don't kill me, then there are two propositions. If I would alive, then three things cannot live together. Kailash Satyarthi, carpet industry, and child labor. One of them has to die. I don't want to kill the carpet industry, but I want to end child labor. And if you really wanted to end child labor, then you and I have to ally. The industry and Kailash Satyarthi has to ally. That was all recorded in the Kalyan Bhavans, the first big meeting of dialogue between me and them. So finally, I was saved by the leaders of the carpet industry inside a small room in the back of the, you can call it green room, in the back of the stage. But in the same night, two gentlemen came to meet me in a place where I was staying in hideout. One was Raidani, R.K. Raidani, who is no more, he passed away, R.K. Carpets or something like that. Another one was Gangadhar Dubey. He is still there, running some college or something. They were crying in tears. They touched my feet and they said that I have never come across any person in our life who is so passionate for the children who are not his biological children. I've never met someone who does not want to kill the carpet industry but wanted to save the industry from this kind of evil and crime. So we are with you, they said. I said, come on, that's great. That is a good start because their heart, their mind was changed seeing all this drama during the day. So I told them that let us invite like-minded people. And we began with a group called CIMICAL, Carpet Manufacturers Association Without Child Labor. And that began with 8 people, then 30 people. Then in the meantime, we were able to find a group called Indo-German Carpet Export Promotion Council, IGEP. And the gentleman, because the big campaign was already in Germany, so the German government and German organizations contacted this organization in Delhi to work with me on this issue. We had a conversation, and then UNICEF in India, then some of the exporters, some of the importers, and so many other people came together, and the rug mark has been incorporated.